Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'm working with you through each of the ABRSM Theory Grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets and you can download those in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials. And you can also access information about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time when you're working through your exam paper on exam day. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really fab, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. I've lots more in store. And now we're going to look at the last question on the 2014 paper C for grade 1. So if you turn in the past paper booklet to page 13, we can go through that question together. And so, as I always say, I do suggest that you have a go of this on your own first of all. Always write in pencil, and then it doesn't matter if you go wrong, you can just rub that out and have another go. You'll learn much more thoroughly that way. These past papers are an excellent revision resource. They're really good for helping to consolidate everything that you've learned. These older papers are slightly different in the layout. The format has changed a little bit, but all of the material is pretty much the same. You still need to know all of the information inside that music theory and practice workbook. They've just changed the way the paper looks a little bit. And the first change that we can see here on this paper are in these performance directions and musical terms. And from 2018 onwards, these will be presented to you in a multiple choice format. Not that that makes it any easier, I don't think. It's very easy to get thrown off the scent. And so I suggest that you just go ahead and answer this page exactly as it is, because that's a really good revision technique to give these their full definitions so you're really sure what each one means. So all of the questions are relating back to this little melody here. I'm hoping you've had a go of this, and now we'll check through it together. So andante is our tempo direction, and that means at a walking pace. Cantabile means in a singing style. Nothing for it but just to revise these and get to grips with all of these words, because as you progress through the grades they're just going to accumulate. So we're asked to look at this symbol here, for example in bar 2. So this could mean either a slur or a tie depending on how it's applied in the music. So bar 2, for example, we can see it's like a big umbrella over lots of different notes, which means it's a slur, which means to play legato or to play smoothly. Legato is the Italian term for that. So play smoothly. PP is short for pianissimo. Piano is quiet or soft, and then the issimo makes that extra, as it were, so it means very quiet. Or you could say very soft. Either will do. And then we've got ral, it's shown in bar 8 here. Ral is short for rallentando, which means gradually getting slower. Now I suggest that you revise these terms by grouping them thematically. So with rallentando, which means gradually getting slower, you would also have ritardando, which also means gradually getting slower, and you could also have ritenuto, which means held back, which is very similar in meaning also. So I would suggest that as you revise these, you group those thematically. So let's move on to the next section. So in section B, we've got a few questions, so we're going to need to keep popping back to that melody at the top. So we're told that the melody's in the key of C major, and you can see that we've got no sharps or flats. So we're in the key of C major, and we are asked to draw a circle around 3 notes next to each other that form the tonic triad in this key. So before we go looking for anything, we need to figure out what we're looking for. And so we're looking for the first, the third and the fifth. So if we're in C major, C is the first. So C, D, E is the third, F, G is the fifth. So we're looking for C, E, G next to each other. That will make that triad. It may not necessarily be in that order. Let's have a look. Here we go. So we've got a C, E, G. There we go. There's our tonic triad. I wonder, does it occur anywhere else? It does actually. We can see we've got it again here in reverse, but the principle remains the same. And we've got it here as well, C, E, G. I think that's it. So any one of those will do. That either one of those, any one of those will answer that question. Let's carry on. So we're asked now to name the degree of the scale of the first note of the melody. Remember, the key is C major. So the first way you can go about this, so the first note of the melody here, we're counting from C. In the bass clef, all cows, counting that as the first. 1 is the space, 2 is the line, 3, 4, 5. We can see that's the fifth. We've counted up from that C. But you can double check it because we've already worked out that the fifth is a G as we were working out our tonic triad, and we see we've got all cows eat grass, that's a G. So we've already done the work to confirm that. So it's the fifth degree of the scale. So let's move on. Give the time name of the longest note in the melody. So let's look. So glancing ahead, we've got 1 beat note as the longest until we've got 1.5 here, 1.5 until we get right to the very end where we've got a 2 beat note, and so that's a minim, or you could say half note. Either one of those will do depending which terminology you're used to. Let's carry on. So now just a bit of observation here. How many times does this rhythm occur throughout this little extract? So we're looking for dotted quaver, semiquaver, or dotted 8th note, 16th note, and we can see we've got 1 here, we've got 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, another one, another one, another one, and another one. So each bar begins with that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that occurs 8 times. And then in which bar is the performer told to pause or hold on to a note? So we can glance all the way through. However, the guess is that it'll be somewhere near the end, probably at the end, which it really is. There's the pause mark, the fermata. That means to linger longer than the note value. So we've got an artistic pause at the end here. So bar 8, that occurs. So this last question is the easy peasy 10 marks. All we've got to do is copy. So make sure that you copy the correct bit. Don't lose marks by not copying the correct bars. And we're copying it exactly as it's written. And they've even helpfully given us a checklist. Don't forget the clef, the time signature, the tempo marking, the dynamics and all other details. So bars 1 to the end of bar 3. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to map out my bar lines to exactly align with theirs. Bar 1, there's bar 2, up to the end of bar 3. And I'm going to keep all of my notes aligned with theirs. That way I'm not going to lose track where I am. And also I'm going to be quite sure that I'm not going to run out of space. So we want clef, time signature. Now I'm just going to get these note heads in the correct place. You can do this in any order you like, just as long as you copy it neatly and accurately. You may lose marks if you're not neat and tidy, if you make it difficult to read. or there's any ambiguity in what you've written. So nice sharp pencil's the answer here. But other than that, you can go about it any way you prefer. So I'm just going to the end of bar 3. So now let's get these stems and beams in place. Make sure I've got all the dots. By all means use a ruler. Put the dots in place. So then I'm going to put the slur marks in now, which tell us to play smoothly. So andante is our tempo direction. We want P, piano quietly, cantabile, nice lyrical melody going on here. And then we have a crescendo in bar 3, and I think that's it. So that's the end of that question, and that's the end of that paper. I do hope that this is helping you. I hope it's of benefit to your studies. These past papers are an excellent revision resource. If you can give me a like, that would be fab, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more to come. Please do visit sharonbill.com and make use of all of the resource and information that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.